Just teasing.
Yeah, but we were actually live just now, so maybe show that again, Nicolas, or maybe it's a
But
secret
do you
still.
mean a
Wow.
symphony, right?
So cute.
That's a prototype. We have a new one that is coming. That's going to be even cuter.
Wow. And how can we get
Oh.
one?
You need to come to Vienna.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay. Yes.
We're getting them ready for Vienna.
Nice.
Oh, look, a symphony.
Symphony. It's
Symphony. Oh, now I get it.
You got it?
Okay. Wow.
okay. So that was a nice way to start the stream. Oh yeah, here's my camera. Hello everyone. Thanks for joining. We're celebrating PHP. It's oh yeah, let me do this again. 29 years of PHP. Here's a fun fact. I'm 29 years old as well. So, but I'm actually turning.
Oh.
Yeah, but I'm turning 30 in like. Let me check, a month. So I'm actually a bit older than PHP, but still I feel connected in like this 1 month where we share the same age, PHP and I think that's fitting. Thanks
So
for
is PHP old or is PHP young?
yeah, pretty old, I would say. At least that's how I'm feeling these days.
Okay.
But I'm looking forward turning 30. By the way, it feels like I'm finally getting to be a real adult now. So what we're gonna do today is celebrate a bit of PHP. 29 years of PHP. I have some amazing guests here with me, and I have some amazing people in chat as well. If you have any questions or remarks, just share them in chat, and I'll keep track of them, or I'll try to keep track of them. And we'll just have a good time together and celebrate PHP together as a community. That's the idea. We're also gonna give away. I also already see someone asking about it. We're gonna give away 3 elephants, like the PHP Storm elephants. Let me quickly show them. These are very limited edition. Roman, how many are left? Do you know?
It's less than 50 in total.
Less than 50, and then there won't be any new ones made. So it's really like the last period where you can get some, and we're gonna give away 3 in the stream as well. And what you'll have to do to gain one is, well, we'll see that later in the stream. Because first I wanted to introduce my guests here today in no particular order. Maybe Freek, you want to introduce yourself. Who are you? What are you doing with PHP? Why are you here? The stage is yours.
Wow, I have to leave my modesty now. I'm normally a modest Belgian who doesn't like to talk about these things, but I'll just do it. So yeah, I'm Freek. I've been working with PHP now for I think 20 years or something like that. I saw a question in the chat. What was the first version you start with PHP? I think version 4 was just released. Still remember books about previous versions as well. And I work at a little Belgian company called Pronskiy, where we do technically challenging Laravel projects, and people they probably know us from our open source packages. We create framework agnostic and Laravel packages. They've been downloaded now for over 1 billion times, which is something that
Really
my
nice.
team and I are very proud of.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just enjoy working with PHP, and I guess I'm ready to program many more years with this beautiful language.
Nice. It's getting more and more beautiful, I feel, with the years. It doesn't show, well, it's actually, it feels like it's getting younger. So exciting things to look forward to. Nicolas, you're here as well, or should I say Nicolas, or I don't know, en français?
Nicolas, it's okay. Well, in English, it's okay. You can make it Greek, like Nikos, if you want.
Nikos, ah oui.
Nikos,
just introduce yourself real quickly. Who are you?
Sure.
What are you doing within PHP? Go ahead.
Yeah. So, Nicolas, I work for Symfony today, the company, and you know also that I'm contributing a lot to Symfony, the open source framework. I'm kind of leading the core team with Fabian. And because I'm just very active, of course, I can work on my paid time to contribute and move the needle forward, helping, reviewing contributions, pull requests, etc. But before that, I started like more than 20 years ago, because it was 2002, I think, where I started hacking PHP BB, this forum software.
Yeah.
And years after, actually, I met Niels, who is one of the PHP BB core team member, or was at the time, something like that. So it's pretty weird. At the beginning, I was just a guy hacking in his garage somehow, and now I'm meeting Niels in Paris just because he's a friend.
Nice.
And I really enjoy the community, of course. That's how I met
Nice.
all of you, and I'm super happy with that.
Cool. You said in chat here you started with 4.2, right? That's you, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
4.2. Wow. I said I felt pretty old, but now that I'm hearing all of these versions, I'm feeling pretty young. Roman, welcome as well.
Hey.
You want to quickly introduce yourself?
Yeah, I work at the PHP Storm team, but I also do full time now. I do PHP Foundation. I manage operations in the PHP Foundation. And actually, Nicolas didn't mention, and he's a board member of the PHP Foundation. We at the PHP Foundation, we develop the language. That's what we do now. So for the first time in PHP history, there is a real organization that, thanks to all the companies in the world that sponsor PHP Foundation, we take this money and we give it to developers to work on the PHP core and make the language better. And I started I don't remember when I started, but I remember what was my first PHP project. It was a conference website when I was in uni, and I didn't know about PHP anything at all. And I think it was PHP 5.2 back then. And I really loved it from it felt so easy to build the website compared to Java, which we used back then in my uni, and C. And I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. And that's how my PHP career started.
You recently did a video for the birthday as well, where you downloaded PHP 1, right, and tried to run it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
And did you succeed?
Yes, and it was actually super easy. So I was like, okay, I will probably spend like I don't know, my whole weekend trying to run it. But at the end, running PHP part was actually super easy. It was quite hard to figure out what it was like actually possible to do, because there were no these PHP tags, no things like that back then. So it was quite a different thing at the beginning. But as I mentioned in my video, the core philosophy of the language, I think, didn't change. It's a productivity tool that makes your life just very easy when you want to build web applications.
Yeah, it was really impressive to see. And the video did really well also. So good for you. It's a really nice project. I see people in chat here. I see PHP 4 quite a lot. I actually don't know what this is. PHP FI2?
Yeah, it's PHP 2 apparently.
Oh yeah, okay, let's see. PHP 5.1, 5.3, PHO, was that a thing? Does anyone know?
No,
or is
I
it
don't
just
know
a
that.
typo?
I think it's a typo.
Yeah. So I would actually say that I'm probably, like, from everyone here, both in chat as well as the people on stream, I'm probably like the youngest PHP developer. I'm starting to realize. I started like writing real PHP with 5.6, and I remember short array syntax was like a new thing. And I started doing my internship at a company. Nicolas, maybe you know them. They were called Kunstman, and they were doing like a big CMS for Symfony. anyway, they were so PHP 5.6 just came out, and I wanted to use short arrow syntax, and then I learned, yeah, but you cannot use that yet because backwards compatibility is the thing, and we'll have to wait a couple more years.
Yes.
But yeah, I 5.6 here. Benjamin is also doing 5.6. Nice. I'm not the only one.
I think, and maybe Nicolas can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in PHP 4 there weren't like these object orientation things that was introduced. I think in PHP
I think
5, which
there were objects, but they had to be passed by reference somehow
Yeah, it
using
was
some
something-
weird syntax, because they were not reference like we have now. So
yeah, it was
that
really
was a
strange
bit,
to do that.
Yeah, exactly. That was not designed for objects. They were forced in somehow.
Yeah.
It's actually interesting to realize that if people start out with PHP today, like all the things they have available, you wouldn't, like, in a way, it's still the same language as Roman discovered with PHP 1, but in so many ways, it changed so much compared to even PHP 5, which it's only 10 years old. Well, in programming terms,
Yeah.
it's probably quite old, but PHP has like, over the past decade, it's changed so much, and I'm so happy with the things that actually were added over the last 10 years. And I was wondering, folks, maybe you want to share, like, what's your favorite PHP feature from the last decade or so? What's something that really stands out that you say, this has been the biggest game changer for the way I write PHP code? Nicolas, you're like nodding. You already have one or two ideas, so feel free to share.
Yeah. I was thinking about that, and I think I would say attributes.
Yeah.
They are the most impactful feature we are leveraging in Symfony, and I think it's making the code much more expressive, so much more expressive. You can write the code, then you code the behavior, the contracts with the signature, and then suddenly you say, hey, by the way, framework, this is how you might use it and know about this piece of code. We used to have annotations, but because they required a complex parser, it was a bit edgy. And now that we have that in core, I think it is transforming the way we develop with Symfony a lot.
Yeah, I started out with Symfony, and then I spent a lot of time with Laravel. And recently I started looking at Symfony again just out of interest. And I was really surprised. I remember, like, all the documentations, they always had like the PHP config variant, the annotation variant, and the YAML variant or something like that. And now there's attributes. And it's so clean. So that's a great favorite feature. Freek, how about you? What's your favorite feature of the past decade?
I think probably like closures, that changed so much about how you can just pass on like functions, and it really enables you to make things a lot more flexible and still readable. I think that is like foundational. And I think it's not per se a feature of PHP, but it's more of a mindset. I really like that PHP doesn't force you to write in any direction. That you can, if you want to use some features, do it. But if you don't want to use those features, if you don't like them, you don't have to use them. You can choose. And that mindset, I still find really great about PHP. We can discuss all about if we want like strict types, or we want to do it this way or another way. But PHP, it just doesn't force you. You can do whatever you want. And that's what I like, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Roman, what's your favorite feature?
So I think I enjoy simple stuff now. And for some reason, named arguments, named parameters. I don't know, it's just... I was like, when that was proposed, the RFC, I was like, man, why would I need this? I mean, I have these hints in PHP Storm, but now I use it all the time. It's just, I don't know, it's just so nice. Just such a simple thing, but it's just so nice. I love it. And enums, I absolutely love enums. I use it now all the time. And I think the design of enums is
Yeah.
super cool, very thought through, and many things there. So it's not like simple enums. It's quite a complex feature if you think about it.
Yeah.
And but I use it all the time. Attributes, I love the idea a lot. I don't like annotations, so I would be happy if all the annotations are moved to attributes someday. But
That's in progress. Yeah.
yeah. But I personally, I don't like use them much so far. But I like the idea. So I think it would be nice if we could have attributes, maybe in to be able to assign them not only to classes but also to like variables. But this is something maybe to discuss in the community. I don't know if it's because, for example, with annotations, right? You can have annotations on.
You mean a type annotation, right? Yeah.
Yeah, type annotation for variable. That would be nice to have for with attributes as well, I think. But I think it's
actually, yeah. On this topic, so in Symfony, that's just my experience I'm sharing. So we removed annotations because we moved to attributes, and now annotations are back, but only to declare, to improve the type system, so generics basically. And so we don't have a syntax to express type that PHP just ignores, that are just declarative. It would be nice. Attributes that are not for that today. So annotations, we are removing them and then we're adding them back. That's a bit like we're missing something. I agree with you.
Like sounds like classic PHP.
Ooh, someone mentioned constructor property promotion.
Yeah.
This one I love it. It's
Yeah.
I think I don't have like a number one feature, although property promotion is probably close attributes as well. I recently started to really appreciate traits more, and that's because an article that Larry Garfield wrote a long time ago, actually, like when traits were just added, I think, and I've started using them more and more combined with interfaces instead of abstract classes. And for me, it opened up a world of possibilities. Like specifically because you have multiple inheritance kind of when you combine them with interfaces, and if you don't run into too many like conflicts. And yeah, so I would say actually traits might be my personal favorite feature, although it might sound a bit like a boring one, especially if you compare it like to attributes and stuff like that. But,
I would add traits also to my shortlist. They are core. It's an old feature compared to the others. That
exactly.
About. Yeah. It's back. It dates back to 5. I don't remember.
Yeah, 4. I think
5.4 possibly. Yeah, 4.
5.4, I think. Yeah.
5.4. And yes, I use them as a tool every day, at least as a consumer, but I don't write threads every day. But they are part of the toolbox.
No, definitely.
Nice tool.
One of the things I'm still missing, and I saw some people mention it here as well. Nicolas, you mentioned it also, like type annotations. The fact that we still have to deal with doc blocks is something I hope that will one day can get totally rid of, and then there can be a huge pull request to Symfony and Laravel and just remove all the doc blocks in the world, you know. That's
so we would need a syntax, in my opinion, that as at the moment the annotations, they are declarative, so the engine just ignores them. And I think that's a nice approach. It works well. It enables tools like static analyzers, code editors. And we don't care about the runtime checking. That's my opinion. And Python does that also, and that works in practice very well. We just need to how just is.
We need to solve this small little problem to make it work.
Exactly.
It's syntax. It's a big mind shift from what PHP is doing now, and I think it's not. The technical part isn't a big hurdle. It's more that psychological mind shift part. But it will be interesting. I remember writing about this, like exactly this, on my blog a couple of years ago. And Sarah Goldman, one of the core contributors. She came in and she said, "Yeah, I actually think this will happen to PHP. It will just take 5 to 10 years." Because people need to get used to the idea before we
Yes.
have like these just statically typed annotations, part of the language that are just ignored by the runtime.
Yeah.
Do you have like any other wish list things besides types, Freek, for example?
I think like the pipe operator is also one that is already a long time on my list. I think I've got lots of places where I could use that, so that's probably like my number one thingy.
Yeah.
And I think something very small. I think you complained about this as well, Brent. It has to do with attributes. I think. PHP, one of the very nice features is also that you can use reflection on everything. But I feel like reflection with attributes, it could use a little bit better API because it's a little bit unwieldy, I think.
Yeah, that I was having a stream with Larry Garfield a couple of weeks ago, and he mentioned that he also wrote this package for improved reflection. For dealing with attributes. So there are solutions there, but it would be nice if the language would improve a little bit on it as well. Nicolas is taking a note, and he'll send a pull request.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm writing the pull request at the
moment. I actually don't know, Nicolas. You've made some RFCs, but do you actually also write the C code for it, or do you like?
No, I'm not able to do that.
Okay.
Actually, I've committed some C code to the engine, but it's like monkey or this dog that I don't know how it works, or I don't know what I'm doing. So basically, when I for example, the stringable interface is something that I wrote.
Yeah.
But it was mostly copy pasting, looking at the code, saying there is an if here, I should put something in the else, and basically that. But at some point, it worked. And then people with the correct skills were able to review the code, make the changes that were needed. So yeah, but for example, so I submit an RFC, which is in discussion at the moment.
Yeah,
and that's teamwork. That's Arnaud from the foundation that has been listening to my proposal, and so he wrote the implementation. Nice. I was surprised how easy it was for him. I guess that's because he's really good at what he's doing. And that's also because that's his words, but it just fits. There is a place for that in the engine, so it's easy to plug in. There is no need for big changes, which is always a good hint also that there is something to. So it's in the scope, basically.
Yeah. Nice.
Lazy
okay.
objects.
Lazy objects, yeah. Yeah, so the
but
RFC.
Before that, I was looking at my wish list. I have a list on Notes, and I have many of them. But I spotted two things. What I like doing also when improving PHP, I've been contributing to IDs and a few RFCs to the engine, and I like also small changes because CPP, constructor property promotion, attributes, those are big features. It's easy, one word, and wow, new world.
Yeah.
But then there are also incremental improvements. And sometimes you have a pain somewhere that it hurts in the shoe, right? Mm-hmm. And that's something that after 10 years, you're so happy that someone managed to remove that rock in the shoe. And so I like those. So one of them, I just recently realized that, but I didn't start any discussion. It's just me sharing an idea. But I am missing the exists magic method. We have get, set, is set, unset, and we don't have exists. And we know that a null property, you can have it because it could be defined and the property could not exist, and we know this is not the same. And I realized that because in the property access component of Symfony, we need a way to list all the existing properties of an object. And because of this ambiguity between is set and exist, when there is a magic method, we are like guessing instead of having a proper decider that this exists or not. It can be null, but it can exist. So yeah, I'm also a bit afraid or scared of opening a discussion on this topic, because I anticipate that there will be people saying less magic is better. So we don't want any progress in this area, which that's what I'm afraid of. Maybe there are people, maybe this could be accepted. I don't know. That's my blocker.
Right.
I don't know how you feel about that.
It's I can imagine how like it's such a small thing, but it would actually have a huge impact, especially if you're working on the framework level, on a bit of lower level code abstractions. Yeah, I would say go for it. Don't let fear be a thing preventing you from doing it.
Yeah. I do think that PHP is also like the sum of like a lot of people trying ideas, and the best ones they stick. And I think what we should do is just keep on trying ideas.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Speaking of ideas, here's one: multi-line short closures. Roman, do you want to share your wish list items?
So this one.
Roman, we had that last year, I think.
Yeah, it's still not added to the language.
Yeah, come on, I'm counting on you.
Talking about the multi-line closures, what I did is I did a small research on. I took this RFC, and I took all the people who voted no for this RFC, and I tried to gather their opinions.
And then you try to visit them at their house in the middle of the night. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Please don't. Yeah.
Don't, we were supposed to talk
publicly.
about that. Yeah, right.
But actually, Nicolas voted no. That's if you didn't know. And we are watching you. But I found your message, like why you voted no. So I'm trying to like collect and classify those issues with this RFC and try to understand if we can address those. And actually, there are valid concerns about this feature. So we'll see how it goes. I'm still like. It's not like an easy topic, to be honest. No. It felt like an easy, like, we'll just address the issues and implement it, but it's not like that. And from my personal wish list, I like the class extension in Kotlin, which is basically like macros in Laravel. So you can just add method to a class in your code. It's like dynamically sort of. But it will be available everywhere. So it's like macros, but on the language level. And I really like this feature. I'd say it could be, And I was actually surprised to discover that there are languages that have it on the language level, and it seems like an interesting idea. I think it kind of complements traits in a way. So it could be nice.
I think also. I'm not certain, but I think in Ruby you can also monkey patch stuff, like just override the defined function, and they use it, I think, for testing purposes, so that they can just override like an implementation, which is kind of cool. It's very powerful. You can do a lot of stuff wrong with this, but I'm a believer of giving people.
I'm like panicking right now, but I'm just go ahead.
I'm of the school of giving people like sharp knives, and they should be adults and learn that they shouldn't play with sharp knives, but they can use them whenever they want to.
And I'm in a different kind of school.
Yeah, I know. I know our discussions when we were still seeing each other every day, but so.
For those who don't know, Freek used to be my boss, by the way, but not anymore.
Oh, I was going to say just colleagues, but
okay, so but nice wish list items. I see some suggestions here in chat as well. That's really cool. Keep those suggestions coming. And just for a reminder, people who just joined the stream, we're gonna do a giveaway with the elephants, the PHP Storm elephants as well. So make sure to stick around for those. That will come up in somewhere in the future, the coming hour or so. One question I also had on mind is so we have this wish list of like features, syntax changes to PHP. But I was really curious to hear, like, all of you are very involved within the PHP community, and I want to learn, like, how do you think of PHP's future, not necessarily from a syntax point of view, but from a language and ecosystem point of view? Where are we heading? What are you excited about? Maybe what are you afraid about as well? What are upcoming challenges that we need to be aware? So more, yeah, about the language, the ecosystem, and not necessarily about specific features. And I wanted to talk about that a little bit as well. Maybe Roman, do you have some ideas here? You're involved with the PHP Foundation, so this is basically all you're thinking about all day. So I found it a good thing to start with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I want to share one of my thoughts I had recently. So the attributes and the community is starting to add attributes to core, like override, now deprecated. And honestly, if you asked me a year ago or more, I would be like all for these attributes in core. But now when I think about it, the more I think about it, the less I'm sold on these attributes, having them in core, because they are actually quite complex if you think about it. The implementation, if you look at the implementation on the engine, it's quite complex. And there were a lot of talks about PHP Fig and if PHP Fig is relevant anymore in the community. And this is what I think, the PHP Fig, maybe one of the projects for PHP Fig could be attributes, like thinking through the attributes and the behavior of the attributes. Because, for example, deprecated attribute, that was a little bit a controversial one, because we already had a deprecated attribute in PHP Storm, which if you check it's used in many projects out there, if you say, but it's not compatible. The signature of that attribute is not compatible to the new core attribute. And I mean, okay, we'll fix this on PHP Storm attributes level. It's not a problem, but again, it brings kind of this division or in the community. And I think PHP Fig could be one of the entities who would be nice to think about these attributes and how to have them the interfaces for the attributes and their behavior, and then the community can pick it up. So that's what I think. I think attributes in core maybe is not the best direction. I think so. And but in general, maybe the direction in this case, the idea is maybe the engine should be not get more complex and actually stay simple or become even more simple, and we could have more stuff on the static analysis stage, if you think about it, or if we even think further, if you think about it, when you run PHP on production, you actually don't run PHP files. You may think that you run PHP files, but what you actually run, you run opcache. So if you think about it, that's already sort of like a compilation stage in a way.
It is.
So maybe there is a room for improvement in this area. So we could actually do more stuff on this stage where we compile to opcache and less actually on the runtime.
You're talking about type checks, for example, right?
For example, yeah, because the complex type checks, like generics type checks, there's it's very hard to implement runtime generics because it's just by design, it's just very complex thing to verify. If you have to make it basically behave the same as simple types, as scalar types, and maybe we should, as we said earlier, maybe we should just give up this idea of having this in runtime. That's an open discussion, and I think there are many people, they discuss this, they try different ideas in this area, and we'll see something. I feel so.
Yeah, generics, man, and by extension, the like doing more at compile time or during a static analysis phase would be so cool for PHP. I don't know if that's the direction it's heading in, by the way, but it is my hope. Yeah, same question, Nicolas. Like future of PHP, it could be anything. Could be something engine related, but also community related. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, just about what Roman said, because it makes sense to me. About attributes in core, I 100% agree. Like the current, the RFC for deprecated, I voted against because it has runtime side effects. And in my opinion, it breaks too many things. It creates a rigid, very rigid thing because it is implemented in C, and changing something in C is so difficult compared to changing something that is not in the C side of things. And the more attributes we add to the language, the more we make those. They are supposed to be declarative, but they have runtime side effects. So there is a conflict, a conceptual conflict, in my opinion, and we should have less of them. And the fig is a good idea just because there is no alternative. Because I don't like, of course, for many things that the fig is doing also. You might know about that. So maybe there are these PER things, evolving recommendations. And I think that we shouldn't have a PSR for attributes because those are also too rigid. I mean, I've been involved in updating our PSRs just to enable PHP 8 things, and that was so long, so boring, so bureaucratic that I don't want this is not the correct bureaucracy for that, in my opinion, of course. So, but I still think we don't have a better place. I mean, we could add Symfony contracts, but those would be labeled as Symfony, like you did with PHP Storm one. It's perfect. They're just not in namespace that is going to be a unanimous, consensual anytime. Generics at compile time. There is an architectural limitation in the engine, which is that every single file is compiled independently from the other ones. So then it means because static analysis and type checking requires more considering more files, maybe the full application at once, it might be super a big change conceptually for how things work currently. So we can dream about that, but I don't see a path that could make it happen. But I wish, of course, we talk about that. That could be just declarative. I don't know, something like that. And now about your question, I was thinking about that's not a feature or something like that. You mentioned at the beginning. So what's the future of PHP? How are we going to improve? PHP feels more young today, etc. I've realized quite recently that there is something that might be a mistake, which might be to make PHP too close to Java. I'm saying that this way because, Laravel taught us that you don't need to have strict everything and typed everything to have something that is DX friendly, that is really easy to use, that actually is pragmatic and solves real world use cases. And I really like Laravel in the PHP ecosystem because at the foundation, at the internals, the voices that move PHP forward are voices that make it more like Java, like more strict, more complex also to start with, because there are so many variants of the syntax and of so many features that you need to leverage and to understand, and concepts, because we're talking about asymmetric visibility. So tell that to you 10 years ago when you started hacking your website and you said, oh, this is much more easy to use than Java. And at some point, we can't compete with Java. If PHP is the same as Java, people will go to Java because, of course, that's Java. And so I think PHP needs to be to not lose its focus about empowering also people that are just hacking things. And I think that's a voice and that's a point of view that needs to be quite important. That's not the main one in the PHP internal talks, and also in the area where we talk about what we like, new things. So generics, for example, is another quite high-level concept.
True.
And yeah, so thank you, Laravel, for that, really. So Symfony is trying to navigate some kind of middle ground, because we like strict things with nice APIs. We also like pragmatic approaches. And so sometimes people from more the strict side say, hey, Symfony, you're doing shit there. And I say, I don't care. I'm solving a real world use case. And that is what matters most. And so, yeah, I think that's an important voice to have in the ecosystem. And maybe more people from Laravel could be involved on this side of, the balance.
Yeah, that's like a really nice answer. I'm like half mind blown by it. This is you've hit such an important and great point for the future of PHP. Thank you for that. It's really nice. Freek, do you maybe you want to comment on it from like the Laravel side, or maybe you have like other thoughts about PHP's future? Go ahead.
Well, small comment on what Nicolas said. I really think it's good that like the Laravel and Symfony community really influence each other on this. I know that people are seeing us like Laravel, that's like the pragmatic side of things, but and it is. But on the other side, I think from the Laravel side of things, there's influence from Symfony coming as well. Types have been introduced to the framework. There's like a big part of the community that really likes strictness as well. So I see like Laravel, Symfony, there's a lot of things in between on how you think about things. And also when people say, Symfony, that's like the strict thing, I say, no, they're also somewhere on the spectrum there. It's not like black and white. And that's what I really like. It ties a little bit in what I said about PHP. That there's like a lot of wiggle room on how you manage to do things. But the point that I want to say about the future of PHP wasn't like on a technical level. I think that if you think about how are we going to make or let PHP stay relevant, I think there's certainly something. There's some work on the technical level, but I think, and developers are maybe a little bit afraid of that, there's also marketing that needs to be done a little bit better, I think. I think if you go to the php.net site now, I think for a newcomer, it isn't very welcoming or very modern. If you see like the homepage of the language Rust, for instance, it has much better design. It has a very nice tutorial. The documentation is very good, even like interactive examples. And I think a lot of more newcomers would stick to PHP or would have like a better time learning PHP if there were like some better marketing for that. I know that I sell products, and I know that I can make something technically very good, but if I don't do the marketing right, nobody's going to buy it. And I think PHP is a little bit lacking in that regard. I think there's room for improvement there for sure.
Yeah. Nicely put. A little bit lacking. I think it's more than a little bit. Roman is taking notes, and this will be fixed in the next sprint. So let's move
well, actually, I have the same feeling, and we are trying to address this issue with the PHP Foundation and the community. So the interactive examples in the documentation are coming soon. And hopefully we'll do other things. And I will reach out to you, Freek, and I will ask your advice on this.
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Yeah, I think a lot of people already understand that this marketing is important. I mean, Symfony has like an excellent website, Laravel as well. People that are bringing out stuff always. I think more people have this in mind. I think PHP should follow with this as well.
some really nice ideas. I'm actually like, I'm not surprised, of course. I knew you were all gonna come up with like very in-depth points, but yeah, really great stuff. And well, maybe we'll see next year for PHP's 30th birthday what has changed already.
Hey,
But there's momentum here.
that would be like a great occasion to have like a better website, like the
Yeah,
30th birthday.
yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have some eyeballs from other communities
true.
on PHP. So
Hey, Freek is already doing the marketing game here. Did you know that? It's, very nice. So, I think it's time. We've discussed a lot of things about PHP. It's also time to get people in chat involved now and actually make sure that people can get like the PHP Storm Elephant here. What we're gonna do, folks, is we're gonna do a little quiz together. And I hope all of this works out, that there are no technical issues. All of you can, let's see here, go to menti.com and use that code. And like folks in the stream here, Freek, Nicolas, Roman, you can go there as well. And then you can use the code on screen. And then I hope it works. Let me know when you're all connected, right? And when we can start. We're going to do a little quiz about PHP. It's going to be multiple choice, very straightforward. And in the end, the top 3 people, they will get an elephant, and we'll send it to you wherever you live in the world. So people can send like upvotes in Menti. That's great. So then I know people are there. Freek, Nicolas, Roman, are you there as well?
Yes, I am
there.
Definitely participate, but I'm gonna say I think all of you already have an elephant. Do you, Freek, actually? The PHP Storm Elephant?
I don't have the PHP Storm Elephant
Okay,
yet,
then
and my
you
kids
can...
will be very happy with this. So
yeah. Okay,
I'll do my best.
You can win as well, definitely. It feels like a certification test. It is. So based on these results, we're gonna hire some people. I don't know, in Laravel or Symfony. No, let's check here. Gonna double check chat. Okay, I think I've got like 13 questions, something like that. That felt like a nice number.
Good, I'm ready.
Yes. Okay.
All
So let's move to the first one, and I hope everything works.
Brent.
Yes.
What is this? What is this?
What is this? This is actually a joke.
So I need to send a message to some friends. Give me a minute.
Yeah. Sure. Go ahead. We can stay here for a while and see like how many votes come in. This is interesting. Like for the people unaware, I added Tempest here as well. I don't know if you know about this, Nicolas, but this is like a project we've been working on this channel as well. And it's like a fun little framework, but this one doesn't actually count for the results. But it was interesting to get a little bit of a feeling of how people are distributed here. And so great to see Symfony and Laravel are just almost equal. That's nice. And Nicolas, I'm waiting for like the hundreds of people you're sending.
It's difficult to do 2 things at the same moment. So if there's any people from the Symfony community, please share on Slack. Maybe I can do it this way. Go to your company, tell people to join.
Very nice.
I'm also happy for WordPress.
It's nice.
I'm not alone.
28, it's perfect.
This is great. I'm also happy with 8 people for Tempest, by the way.
I voted Tempest for you, Brent.
Oh, really?
For you. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Start the bot farm, someone is saying. Okay, so now we're actually going to start. We know it works. And we can continue with like the first real question. It's going to be a variety of questions. Let's see like what people think. This is the first one. According to Packages, what is the most used PHP version today?
Oh,
I don't know.
I'm doubting between 2, but
without cheating, right?
Interesting.
Yeah. That's a good one, Brent. I'm doubting between
Yeah.
two versions, but we'll talk about this when everybody has voted.
Yeah.
I wonder why 8 is not here. 8.0.
Yeah, well,
Hmm.
very much on purpose, Roman.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Results are almost ready, I would say. So let me now check whether I can actually show the results. It's 8.2.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Yes.
really?
Yeah.
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 Got it.
That's good, right, folks? That's really great. PHP is actually like getting more and more modern, and more people are using kind of up-to-date versions, I would say. So that's nice. Well, Freek, you wanted to mention something. Did you?
Yeah, I'm actually, I was doubting between 8.1 and 8.2. And I also want to highlight that more people are upgrading now than back in the days. I also think that upgrading is like less risky. I still remember like people are really afraid of like a change from PHP 5.2 to 5.3. That was like really a big change. And I think people in the time didn't have like we didn't have like the focus on tests on writing tests. Yeah, people were afraid that things were gonna break, and I think that fear has gone a little bit because of like good backwards compatibility and good test suits for applications. So yeah, I'm not surprised that it's a more modern version that is the most used now.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, let's move to the next one. What will be the output of this code snippet? Take your time. Take your time. Interesting.
It's probably a trick question, but
Maybe.
I can't see the trick. But you made the quiz, right, Brent? So this is a trick question.
Enums that is not that easy, right? That's what we're seeing there. We have to wonder about that. On my side, I'm not super sold on enums. Maybe I'm not using them enough, but I'm having a hard time understanding the real value they have.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm not. I don't have an issue with collections, list of constants, and deciding among this list. So, and I'm not afraid or scared about, being too strict or not strict enough actually. So usually, if something works, you add tests, and that's also a nice way to ensure that consumers don't do crazy things.
Yeah.
So I feel that's a bit of mental overhead that I didn't. I have a hard time accepting.
Gotcha. Okay. I think we'll show the answers here. And this is a very interesting one because most people are actually wrong. It's a typo error. And why is it, folks? Does anyone know? Roman, do you know?
No.
I knew it was going to be something like that.
Because we're using const instead of case, which this is totally valid syntax. But these aren't cases. Aha!
I knew it was a trick question. Yeah. Case, indeed. Yeah. I was looking at the types like, is it like an option and the type of options, something like that.
Okay, next one. Which PHP version added namespaces?
This one I can answer. I was there.
Maybe you should have
Actually, fun fact, I was bored at the time, I guess, but I wrote some script that was able to hook into the autoloading process of PHP because it was there already. And it was able to run 5.3 code on the 5.2 engine. So basically, it means I had backport transpilation thing, so that I could have. Yeah, I also backported closures because closures were introduced at the time.
And how did you backport it then? Did you like convert it to
to underscore things. And using the underscore instead of the backslash for namespaces, and it worked.
Okay. I think it's funny that like two people actually say 6.0. Okay, let's take a look at the results. It was 5.3. Yes. Very nice. Okay, so most people knew this one. The next one, what will be displayed?
Another trick one?
Yeah.
I'm not using that. I don't know if it works.
No, this is using the array destructuring syntax, by the way. That's the first line over there.
I would think it would work.
But
Or
it's
at least it
PHP.
should work. Yeah, it's PHP. It's a Russian roulette that you're playing there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I mean, second one definitely works. I'm not sure about the first line. Right?
I like the commas with echo. That's an interesting one. Is that valid syntax?
Yeah.
That is the trick. I didn't see that.
Maybe I should wait another minute or so.
It used to be a trick, a minor performance trick, because it was faster to concatenate string. Yeah, exactly. Because we were just echoing directly to the string.
I see. We have like PHP veterans here who just they are a compiler in their head, but you still don't know the right answer here, Nicolas. Okay, let's show it.
I do because I ran the code, but I'm cheating. I didn't.
No!
I
cheating
answered
here.
before. And then
people should stop changing their vote. By the way.
Yeah.
Okay,
so the
next
first
one. When was
what was the
contains
answer?
added? The answer was the dash, just the dash, because
just the
first line doesn't work.
The destructuring syntax basically does nothing. X and Y will be empty, and then you echo it out, so it's empty.
It's really weird.
And then,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's
so it doesn't
also
make
no
any
error.
sense. That is
it
useless,
doesn't make
right?
any sense. That's the point. Yeah. When was string contains added? Okay, people seem to know this one. I do wonder, like, how many people are cheating here. There's no way to know it, of course, and I think some people really want that elephant, but maybe I should just pick people at random instead of like the top.
Speaking about good features, I mean, this function, I love it.
Yeah.
Like, the reason I added this, and I think I can show the results because most people are right. Like it's a bit mind-blowing that it took until PHP 8 for string contains to be added in PHP. But it's also really nice that we now have it. So, yeah. Cool. Let's do the next one. What will the output be? Mm-hmm. This one takes a bit of time, and you know why it takes a bit of time? Because people are actually writing it in eval or in PHP Storm and then just running it. That's why it takes a bit of time. You cheaters! We're gonna
cheaters.
I'm gonna pick random people, by the way, who participated.
So suddenly, Hello World is.
Yeah, but okay, it's fine. Let me show the results. It is in fact Hello World. And does anyone know why?
I can tell.
Explain.
Yes, Nicolas, go ahead.
Yeah, HTTPS : is a go-to label.
Yes.
So it's
Yeah.
just a label that GoTo can use, and / is the beginning of a comment. So
Yeah.
it's GoTo label and then a comment, and then echo hello world, and so it displays hello world.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Totally
Exactly.
valid PHP syntax.
I'm learning things here. I don't know if I can use it, but it's
It depends on
You can use it once per file, not more, because you cannot
Yeah.
have the same GoTo label, I guess.
Does
Yeah.
Symfony use GoTo in some places, Nicolas?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Nice.
Of course we do.
I read
there are some complex loops that
Yeah.
are more easily written using GoTos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in the Laravel code base there's a go-to as well somewhere.
I read some I don't know, some kind of GitHub issue a while ago where the author explained that using GoTo was actually much more important in a very specific case. So there are actually cases for it. Yeah. And this
Yeah, of course
is
there are.
totally valid PHP syntax.
So we
That's
should
nice.
deprecate for and while loops because we don't need
Exactly,
them.
and just go with GoTo. Yeah. It's more performant. Okay, the next one. Which RFC got the most votes?
Uh-huh. I don't know.
These are all accepted RFCs.
Yes.
Seems to be some consensus here. But are the people
don't
right?
know.
Or is it a quick trick question once again? I don't think it could be, but... Okay. Votes or votes in favor? Someone asks just total votes. Yes and no combined.
Damien actually made a point that you can use label once per method. I didn't know that.
Yeah, of course, because then go to somewhere, there needs to be only
Yeah.
one target. So yeah. Which
Okay,
is
let's show
a
the
shame. I would
results.
love to be able to add URLs everywhere.
Type properties are in fact the most voted RFC. And let me actually check it here. Typed properties. It was like a huge amount of
70.
people.
70.
Yeah,
Let me check.
votes in favor, right? But like all combined was something in the 80s, I think,
No, it's 70, I think.
in total.
And then let me check. I'm on the PHP Watch website from
yeah.
Benjamin Beverly.
Yeah. Typed properties.
It was 70 yes and 1 no.
Oh, only one no. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. But this is also one of my favorite features, by the way. Do you remember, like, and this isn't this long ago, but we had to write dog block annotations for every class property. That was such a wild time. So,
Yeah, and it could be wrong.
someone voted against
Yeah.
type properties. Someone else, that was Nicolas probably. He always votes no.
I don't like
Okay.
types. Actually, you mentioned strict types in Symfony, but we don't use them. So yeah, could be me.
Okay, the next
I
one.
can tell.
What will the output be? I think this is a free one, but let's see.
I had a look, and it's actually Dmitry who voted against
okay.
type properties. So
It's another trick question, right? Brent? Yeah.
Let me see here. A classic. Yeah, exactly. This is a classic one. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, it's not only in PHP, right?
No, exactly.
No.
It will indeed be false, and that's because of like floating point arithmetic, right? Not much to say about this one, but let's move to the next one. Which one of these functions never existed in PHP? Now go ahead.
Leak. Oh my god.
And note that I say existed. It could be a function that actually existed at one point, but then got removed. Uh-huh.
Well, Damien says it's true, but it's
You don't know this one, Roman?
the function.
Yeah, do you know the answer?
I guess I know. Yeah, I know that. I will not comment, but I guess I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know because I tried to use it recently and it wasn't there.
Okay, so let's show the answer. It's
Yeah.
array first.
Was correct.
Yeah, so the leak function actually existed in PHP 3 and let me share this tab in PHP 3 and PHP 4, and it was used to leak memory.
Yeah, what did it do? Really?
Yeah. So the only function that really makes sense doesn't exist. There's array key first. That was added in, I think, PHP 8, but array first doesn't exist. And Levenstein, I don't know how to pronounce it, is like the name of an algorithm, and Easter date actually exists in PHP.
Yeah, I actually, or one of my colleagues actually used the Easter date recently. We created a package that calculates like holidays in different countries.
Right.
And a lot of holidays are based on the Easter date. And yeah, we were surprised to learn that PHP has a native function for this.
Yeah. I think this is why I know Easter date exists, because of you sharing it somewhere, Freek. Okay, cool. The next one. Can you name a method function? So, and then the second option for yes, but only with a capital, it means that you would write the function like with an uppercase or something. The Easter date is handy for developing Easter eggs in your code.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, now that we're talking here about functions and waiting on the answers, let me give you another thing for my PHP wishlist. It's sometimes a little bit, it's not handy that you can't have like a function in a class and then a static function with the same name. I've hit that a lot of times already. That would be nice if we could be able to do that somehow. There's probably like a technical reason why it can't happen, but I've hit that stone a couple of times now.
Wait, how could you repeat it? Like a function in global namespace, and then the
no. So if you have a class with like a function named my function, you can't have like a static function in there that is named my function as well.
No, but that makes sense.
I can give you the reason why, because of course they are in the same group of symbols, right? So there's one space for functions, and so we could make two storages for that, but then there is one thing that prevents it, which is that from an object you can call a static method using the arrow operator. You don't have to use colon to call a static method. And I guess there is code around that is using that syntax, maybe inadvertently, to still call a static method. So that's the kind of things you say, it would have been better designed another way, but it is how it is, mostly, I suppose.
Yeah, and it's only a small thing, but I use this like a lot when you have like an object with like a static kind of named constructor kind of thing, and then you want to probably have like the same method in like the non-static implementation of it, but it's only a small thing.
Okay.
There's another discussion, the topic related, which is about case insensitivity in PHP. Recently, Valentine opened a discussion about that. And so yeah, it's difficult because it's been there since so long that changing that might just not have enough in pros versus
value. Yeah.
Yeah, value, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Let's check the answer here. Oh yeah, it's yes. You can do that. I was surprised by that. I didn't know you could.
Surprised by it as well.
Perfectly valid PHP. The only thing I had to do was to fix my my highlighter package, which I used to to generate the screenshot, because it actually it didn't take that into account.
And at the beginning, it wasn't allowed. Yeah. At the beginning, it was not allowed. But then I think Nikita figured out that it was quite boring to not be able to have a function named after the token, because there was a function token and that was used everywhere. And so someone said, we have enough context in the syntax to know that this is not a token. So that's why.
Damian mentioned his PHP tip archives. I will send. Unfortunately, I think YouTube doesn't allow to send links, but it's php-tips.readthedocs.io. Just Google for it. It's a really nice archive of nice tips.
Nice. Okay. Next one.
Cool.
What is the most downloaded PHP package of all time?
I know this one.
No looking up, folks. Just answer something. Everyone can win the elephant. You don't need to win. Just your first thought, right? No one is saying Laravel. Interesting. Opinions are divided. Looks like Symfony Console is winning. Side note here, Nicolas, but like I recently dove a little bit into like console stuff, and like from no matter the amount of downloads here, but Symfony Console it's such a successful package in all regards. It's just it's used everywhere. There's only one package that does it as well as Symfony Console, and it's just an example of how great things can be made with PHP. It's just, I was mind blown by it. Yeah. Okay. Let's check the answer here. It is actually PSR log. And I think polyfill MB string is the second and Symfony Console is the third. But this is all-time metrics. If you would go to check packages right now, it sorts by recent downloads. So if you check packages, I think polyfill is the biggest one. But then if you compare total downloads, it's actually PSR log. So all people who try to cheat and fill in polyfill, well, you're wrong. The next one, what will the output be here? Oh, this is fibers. I recently discovered fibers, by the way, using it for a couple of things. Interesting.
Interesting, but hard to reason about. So now we need to switch fibers in our head.
This may or may not be a trick question. Interesting. Okay, I'll show results. It is actually a fatal error. Does anyone know why? No?
Nope.
Tell us.
very stupid, but we forgot to start the fiber, so you cannot resume the
yes.
fiber after before it's been started. So you actually have to call, after creating the fiber, you have to call fiber start. So I think, that was the last question. But now I actually don't know where to see the results. So it's good that people cheated, and I can just collect everyone's email address and pick 3 random winners. Turns out I forgot about that. What we're gonna do, I have a Google form here actually. It's gonna make my life easier. And you can just fill out your email address if you participated in the quiz. And then we'll pick. I'll pick 3 random people and announce them on Twitter. So go over to that link. I've pasted it in chat, and fill out your email address. It won't be used for anything else. And okay, it works because some people are already responding. Great.
Can you show the results anyway, or is it?
Yeah, but I don't know how.
Okay, maybe you should just connect and it will show.
No.
Okay.
Send me the results.
No, but there are results. There are results. But well, let me share it. It's anonymous basically.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
Interesting, nevertheless.
Yeah. And okay. So on average, I think 70 people participated, and but where do you see the results now? Responses. Okay. This was the first question. Can I press breakdown here? No. Okay. This one a lot of people got wrong. The most popular version. And over here as well, only 16% guessed the right answer. Over here, 74%. So over here, with the dash thingy, 25%. Oh, this one was string contains. I'm surprised by that. Like, so many people actually know about string contains in PHP 8. I thought this one would be more difficult. 39% again. Not all that great type properties RFC, but this was the point where people started cheating a lot, I guess. Over here, 60%. What was this question? Output. Oh yeah. Like float comparisons. Not a lot of people knew about array first, which I totally get because honestly, array first should be in PHP. Roman, can you take a note of that, please? The function thingy was 50%. PSR log only 36%. So either I had very difficult questions, or PHP knowledge isn't all that great here.
Yeah, we need like that tutorial on the PHP.net site, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's all about like resources and stuff.
Yeah. So pretty cool, by the way. I see 80 people have already dropped their email address, and I should have asked for your name because now I only have your email
address. You can share emails.
I can share email addresses. But let me stop sharing. I will. Let me actually see here if I can quickly grab 3 random email addresses and like get the name from without exposing the email address. Or I should do this off stream.
Yeah, I think
I will. Yeah, cool. I'll do it off stream because it's gonna be a mess up if I have to like do the email address thingies, and I don't want to expose anyone's email address. Okay, cool. That was the quiz, but it was fun. I liked it. I lost my. Oh yeah, here you are. I lost all of you. Thank you for sharing all those insightful comments as well. There is a lot of PHP knowledge within this stream, although people in chat, it was like 30% success rate on average. But very nice. Do I see elephant behind Nicolas on his right? What kind of elephant?
Yes.
Yeah, but that's the
The
left. I
PHP
thought
Storm one, right? And this
yeah,
one, Kung Fu. This is oh yeah, so many of them.
the Elvis fans you have as well.
Yeah,
Right.
the Elvis is there. One with the headphone, caravan.
Nice, nice. I have the golden Laravel one. I'm proud of that one.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
Roman, you
Wow.
look surprised. You brought that for me. You bought it
Really?
for me
I
in
think
Laracon US.
I don't have it myself. I think I gave you mine.
Okay.
Yeah, I have lots of them, but here,
Yeah, Roman has a pretty big collection.
I think I gave you mine. Yeah.
Oh well, thank you. I thought you bought one for you as well.
Yeah, I thought so too, but I cannot. I don't. I cannot see it.
So, speaking of elephants, Nicolas, you showed it at the very beginning of the stream. There will be a Symphony plush
Oh,
toy
yes.
at Symphony Vienna, right?
Possibly.
Possibly.
Like we are looking for a symphony. That might be it. That's a prototype. That the exact one.
It's so
The
nice.
final one won't be exactly like this one, but yeah, that's getting in shape.
Okay, so this is a great reason to come to Symphony Vienna. Did that are registrations open already?
Yeah, registrations are open and the call for paper also. So if you want to speak, be a speaker there, you have until I think 7th of July. So it's 1 month we are closing the first round. I guess there will be a second round, but still it'd be nice. So yes,
nice.
It is open.
And it will be in Vienna, and last year it was in Brussels. I think there were like 1,500 people, something like that. And it was a really nice conference.
Yeah, something like that. So that's the size. Yes, I always love the energy there, and also meeting people from all around. People, friends I chat and meet only on Slack. They're from the US, from Poland, Germany, Netherlands. I don't know, so many countries. And yeah, that's a must. That's a must. For me, it is, but I think many people that went there. Yeah.
Do you have to take like many selfies with people?
Not many, just a few, and that's always a pleasure. That's a big surprise also. I'm like honored. Fabian has more, and it also depends a lot on the culture. When Fabian went to Tunisia, there was a lineup basically of people standing, and the lineup was spontaneous. Like Fabian was chatting with someone, and that guy asked, "Hey, can we take a selfie?" And then the answer was yes, of course. And then people then started lining up, and he spent the afternoon taking selfies.
Nice. Awesome. I think Freek, you were asked for a signature once.
Yeah, there was like a conference where they organized it. Yeah, you have to sit here, and people will ask you to sign things and for selfies, and there was like a big line there. So it was even organized. Now I agree what Nicolas says. This is something culture based. I think this story happened in India where they really like their selfies. I think. Yeah.
Very
Grant,
nice.
you had I think you had selfie moment at SymphonyCon.
Yeah, but it was a first for me, and it was. I mean, I really appreciated it, but it was weird. So
It is always. Don't get used to it.
No, but it was a really nice vibe, and I think SymphonyCon Vienna will be really nice as well. Freek, did you want to mention anything important before we end the stream? Things where we can catch you, or I don't know. This is your moment.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter. I have my handle is Freek Meuse. I have my blog freek.dev. If you want to see what I do professionally, go to spatie.be. There's an open source section there where I'm pretty sure there will be like a package that you will be able to use in your project. And yeah, that's it, I guess.
Cool. And you're going to Laracon US, right? Where people can.
I'm going to Laracon US. Yeah. This year it's going to be in Dallas. I've never been there, so I'm pretty excited to go there. And I'm also going to like a little Laravel conference that is being organized for the first time. Laravel Live Denmark. It will happen in Copenhagen. I think a few days before LARCon US, so it will be like some traveling for me in that period. But I really looking forward to the smaller Laravel event as well.
Cool. Roman, is there anywhere we can catch you in the coming time?
Maybe LARCon US, but I'm not sure yet. And
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
We can discover Dallas together.
Yeah, well, PHP Storm team is going there for sure, but I'm not sure if I will be part of the group yet. But
okay. You don't know yet. Okay. Cool. I think we're going to conclude the stream here. What I'm going to do after we end is I'm going to pick 3 random winners from that list of emails you've sent me, and then I'm going to delete that list of emails afterwards. And I will send you an email, so make sure to check it out. If you haven't received an email within this and an hour, you haven't won an elephant, basically. But thanks everyone for participating. It was really fun. We got to share about PHP, lots of interesting anecdotes, lots of smart people here as well talking about PHP. I learned that I'm one of the youngest PHP developers here, together with a lot of grandpas, someone said in chat at the very beginning.
What the fuck?
Those weren't my words. It was someone in chat. Sorry for that. But thank you everyone in chat for being here as well. I really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe and like the video as well. That helps out the channel. And then we'll see each other the next time, right? Okay?
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you.